As government, we give incentives and we do our best to try to attract investments of all types. So I just want to say thank you to all the investors in the room who choose to partner Paga Hill estate and the special economic zone here. We will not go wrong in as far as Papua New Guinea is concerned. The economic potential of Papua New Guinea is possibly bigger than most nations in this part of the region. If you invest in a real estate here, some tell me you make a return on investment in 12 years. If it is 12 years, you look around in PA economies, or you look around in the economies in the region. Some you'll have a return back in 30 years, some 40 years. I certainly know of one place nearby, without naming the place, you make a return in 40 years. Papua New Guinea, the next 10 years will be super exciting. We have the new program we're starting up 2 days from today. We have Wafi Gold Pool lined up. It will become the biggest copper mine in the whole world. It will run for 60 years. By next year, we will be issuing both SML and mine development contract. We have the Papua LNG FID next year, final investment decision next year. That is a $12 billion project. Hopefully they maintain the cost at that level. They're telling me the cost might go up, but it's a minimum $12 billion project. We're sequencing back-to-back Papua LNG and Penang LNG construction. So PNG would see construction dollar from 2024 all the way to 2032 when we sequence Penang LNG back with Papua LNG. After Penang LNG, we are giving incentive to ExxonMobil to spot the deepest drill ever drilled anywhere else on the face of planet Earth, 5 kilometers of drill in a geological map, what is called the Eastern Papuan Fault Belt. That will drill. If they hit, they will hit the resource. It's anywhere between, in petroleum terms, it's called either a P3 to a P1 resource. If it is a P1 resource, then we'll be the 5th biggest LNG producing nation in the whole of planet Earth. So that's the way we've sequenced, and in any case, PNG will be an LNG producing nation up until 2050, if not 2060 and beyond. So that's the long-term trajectory of our country in oil and gas and also mining. We're also moving full steam into downstream processing. So, Madam from Radisson Blu, you will not be short of possible clienteles in the hotel, in as far as the hotel is concerned. Right now, if you do your own assessment, Hilton is 80% occupied in terms of average occupancy. Stanley Hotel is about 60, 70, 80% occupied in terms of occupancy. And all the other hotels in our country will be running out of bed spaces when the construction activities pick up in as far as the oil and gas and mining sector is concerned. Our government is also working to ramp up expansion in downstream processing, in forestry, fisheries, our export-driven focuses, and import replacement focuses, all will contribute to a hype of activities. So, next 10 years will be foundational year for expansion in our economy. We expect to double down on economic growth within the next 10 years. The last 4 years, despite COVID-19, we were able to hit a 40 billion uplift in our economic cap, in as far as an economy is concerned. So, Radisson Blu and all the investors partnering Paga Hill Estate, you are into our country at the right time. That will be seeing unprecedented growth that starts in 2024 and for the next 10 years. So I am certainly sure the hotels will be occupied, the apartments will be filled, and for our country, I just want to appeal to our people. Special economic zone concept, Minister Maru has been pushing very hard. It's a concept that has worked in Vietnam, in South Korea, in Malaysia, in China. When I was given the high honor of visiting Beijing, I was asked to pass through Shenzhen. 40 years ago, Shenzhen was like our own Hungerford. I'm not joking, seriously. They were just like our own Hungerford and Port Moresby. Today, 40 years is like in another planet, and we are still Port Moresby and Hungerford as it was 40 years ago. And so, Albert Einstein once says doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results is a definition of insanity. We want to use government policy as a trigger to attract investments, and we secure the investment so that our country too can grow, and instead of just lagging behind. Growth that commensurates the wealth that is inherent in our country. So I just want to say thank you to our investors for choosing to partner Paga Hill investments here. Paga Hill is a testament of an investor and a group of local investors who, come what may, they choose to remain focused on what they believed in. This idea was birthed in 1995, if I'm not wrong. Mm-hmm. Correct? 95?
96.
96. And it has come through many, many moments of trial and tribulations in the words of our Bible, if I could use this, but it has come through moments of trial, tribulations, but they persevered. So I just want to say thank you to local resident PNG investors who have faith in our country. If Mr. Gami and the foundation investors had money in their mind, I was privy to a possible push by some people who wanted to take over this place. They offered over 100 million kina to Mr. Fridrikson and his team. Said, we give you 100 million kina, wash your hands clean, you move on, we take over the property. But he refused that about 6 or 7 years ago, if I'm not wrong. He refused because he had a vision. He came into this country, the country assisted him, and he picked up a prime real estate space. He had vision of development here, and I'm happy to, Minister Maru, that you have been part of the process. You separated all along, and hopefully some of the incentives we've given is able to attract further investments into this part of our city to make this place become an amazing Port Moresby and a bustling capital in the Western Pacific that we live in, bordering Indonesia, bordering Philippines, bordering Southeast Asia. I'm excited to be in Port Moresby in PNG, the Pacific nation that is closest to Asia, that we can interact and live with the Asian nations. When I see 270 million Indonesians, when I see 110 going 120 million Filipinos who need rice and food and rest and recreation and peace, 80 million Thailand people who relate with us, 60 million Malaysian people who relate with us, and of course the 26 to 30 million Australians and New Zealanders in the Pacific. Minister Maru, PNG cannot be at a better place than we are placed in the right place. And harnessing government tools like giving incentives in special economic zones, attracting good investors, can make our country grow to the benefit of shareholders, the investments, as well as to the benefit of Papua New Guineans who will be working, living, and enjoying the return on investments from this sort of investments. So well done. We're not only about oil and gas and mining, we are about capturing and retaining the growth in investments like this one that is happening in Paga Hill. Radisson, welcome. Huh?
Thank you.
Welcome to PNG. It was 8 years ago when I sat with one of our biggest pool of fund, the emergency pool of fund. They now own about 6 to 10 billion kina worth of money in the investment portfolio. I asked them, build a hotel and bring Hilton in. And they built a hotel, and Hilton is now in country. We now have the Steamships people are bringing in. Minister Maru, what is the hotel they bring in? Marriott's coming in. So it's nice to have Radisson coming in also. So we said aloud. All right, very good.